Right in front, Busick. Pass over, scores! Murray Oliver from Connie Busick.
Murray Oliver was one of the greatest Hamilton-born and raised hockey stars. He played junior hockey with the Hamilton Tiger Cubs of the Ontario Hockey Association. After scoring 90 points in 52 games as a 20-year-old, he signed his first professional contract with Detroit and was assigned by the Red Wings to the Edmonton Flyers of the Western Hockey League.
Probably Maple Leaf America's most underrated old-timer ever, Murray "Muzz" Oliver. He played more than 1,000 games, scored 274 NHL goals, and added 454 assists.
Just know that he loved playing, he loved what he did, he was very good at it, and he was a great guy.
He was very simple. He would always say, it's just a game, don't overcomplicate it, it's just a game. And I think that maybe that's also how he lived his life, very simply, don't overcomplicate it, it's fun.
We were walking through the corridor and the guy said, are you Murray Oliver? And he said, yeah, I am. He scrambled for a piece of paper and got a pen. He said, can I have your autograph? You were my favorite North Star. So he signed the autograph for the gentleman and he handed it back, and he was walking down the hall and he turned to me and he said, did you believe that? That guy said I was his favorite North Star. So just the stuff like that he just so appreciated people. He would stand there for as long as there was a line and sign autographs, because he remembered being a kid and standing out in an alleyway with a program and trying to get guys autographs. So he would stay there as long as he could and sign stuff.
Oliver scored 20 goals in his rookie season with the Flyers in 1959-60, but the Wings were loaded at the center ice position, so they traded him to Boston during the following season. He centered the Bruins' BOW line with Johnny Busick and Tommy Williams as his wingers. He had a career-high 68 points in 1964, despite knee surgery the previous campaign.
I had the very good fortune when I broke in with Detroit, playing on line with Gordy. I mean, that was great. Gordy and Alex Delvecchio, two Hall of Famers. I was pretty lucky to get between those two guys.
Really complemented his line mates very well. Twice as many assists as goals in his career, and that was the way he played the game. He took a lot of pride in setting his teammates up.
Oliver, a fine stick handler and playmaker, played with the Bruins for 7 years before being dealt to Toronto in 1967. For 3 years, he centered a line with Bob Pulford and Ron Ellis. He was then traded to Minnesota in 1970.
When Minneapolis and Montreal were in the playoffs a long time ago, he was really feeling like he really wanted to win a Stanley Cup. And they played so well, and he played so well and beat Montreal, and then ran into Philadelphia, unfortunately. But those games, he just played his heart out every single minute, and I was so proud of him.
Despite all those games in the Big Show, Oliver's fondest memory comes from before turning pro in 1958.
I played in the first All-Star game ever in St. Catharines. St. Catharines Teepees played an All-Star team from the rest of the league, and I was fortunate enough to score 3 goals in that game, first All-Star game ever. And then I won the Red Tilson Trophy as the most valuable player in junior. Those are 2 exciting moments of my life.
Oliver played in Maple Leaf Gardens as an amateur and as a professional. He enjoyed the uniqueness and atmosphere of all of the original buildings.
Murray Oliver played 5 seasons with the North Stars and notched a career-best 27 goals in the 1971-72 season. But after a bitter contract dispute with the Stars, he retired.
Well, when he retired from playing, shortly after that, he became an assistant coach. He started working pretty well with Pat Quinn. They'd always been friends. And so he went with Pat to Toronto and went with Pat out to Vancouver, and it was hockey.
You know, when I was a kid, when we got traded back here, and I say we because the whole family got traded, when we got traded to Toronto and started visiting back to Grandma and Grandpa in Hamilton, again, I didn't think much of it. I thought more about going across the street to Helen's variety store and filling up a bag of penny candy than I did that this was actually Dad's hometown. But over the years, and as we came back and visited a little bit, he would start pointing out things to me, like this is where I rode my bike to go play ball, and here's where Reggie lived, and here's where I got my first new pair of skates.
He was a Hamiltonian for sure.
You could really tell that he had a lot of pride in his hometown. He would come back, he would have any excuse to come back to Hamilton. He came back. He was the first one to score a goal in the Copps Coliseum. He was very proud of that.
Oliver had an outstanding 18-year career in the NHL. He played 1,127 regular season games, scoring 274 goals with 454 assists for 728 points. He played in 5 All-Star games. After retiring, he was hired by former teammate Lou Nanne as Minnesota's assistant coach. He worked with the club until the 1985-86 NHL season with 37 games as head coach. He was a scout with the Vancouver Canucks and later took over as the club's director of pro scouting.
When he was a rookie, Mr. Howe taught him how to be a professional. And he passed that along to all the young guys that he saw when he was playing and coaching. And those traits, to me, not necessarily how to be a professional, but just how to treat people with kindness, treat people the way that you would like to be treated.
On November 23, 2014, Murray Oliver died of a heart attack at the age of 77. The Hamilton Sports Hall of Fame welcomes Murray Oliver.